We're down in Rutland at Jeff Brecker's, and he grazes cover crops. So I wanted to ask Jeff a few questions about what he's doing and how the approaches you're taking and the effectiveness of using cover crops in your cattle operation. So about how many years have you been doing this?
Thank you, Abby. I've been in the cattle business for a good number of years since I was wee high, but I've been grazing cover crops for about 8 years, discovering the great benefits of extending the forage season and mixing the different crops together as corn stalks, plus we get a rotation here with the cover crops of peas and radishes and turnips and some volunteer wheat. It makes for a good long grazing period and do not have to count on your hay.
How long do you think you'll keep them out here on this cover crop field?
Well, I generally keep them on the cover crop until there's absolutely nothing left for them to eat. They'll tell me when there's nothing left, but the cows are very resourceful, even if the snow gets up to foot deep. So it really, there's no limit to how long I can have the cows out in the paddock.
What different species do you typically include in your cover crop mix?
Generally, I like the peas because there's some protein value to that. The radishes, of course, and the turnips have their other beneficial value, and the livestock usually end up eating just everything down to pretty much the bare dirt.
Yeah, I guess when you look across this field, you can see that the cattle have already grazed out most of the peas in this mix, and now they're moving on to some of the other things.
I like the part about having a mixture of different species out here in the fact that it gives a cow a different cafeteria so that it helps them just be more selective in what they like. I also like the corn stalks as partner with them. That gives them some fiber at the same time, so it keeps their rumen working well.
Do you have an idea on weight gain as far as cattle grazing on your cover crops, as to how much weight they gain in any year? I suppose it depends on stocking rate and also size of the field.
Correct, Abby, and it's really hard. I haven't done any research. I'm guessing the Extension Service and so forth have. I haven't really actually sat down and had numbers, but I do know that the livestock come off of cover crops in really good shape. I've had them graze cover crops until the middle of January, and they seem to be doing just fine.
Excellent. Well, thank you for sharing with us what you're doing here with your cattle and your cover crops, and I think it's a great opportunity to not only build soil health, but to also have a resource for cattle.
Absolutely, and it's really been beneficial for me to get into the cover crop business for my livestock industry.
So this is just another example of how including cover crops in rotation and utilizing them for grazing is an excellent opportunity for both sides, not only for building soil health, but for also supporting a livestock industry.